There is a reason why this video is very long. These headphones are $550, and the decisions to get them is not really an easy decision. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna go in details, I'm gonna go in depth, I'm gonna talk about all the good features, all the bad features, and if these headphones worth the price or not. I have been using these headphones for over a week now, but they are very similar to the old ones, which I also have. The green ones, which is the lightning one, so they are very similar, so I'm very familiar with them. Yes, this video is going to be a review of the AirPod Max 2, but I'm going to also be comparing them with the Sony XM4s, which are actually half the price. If you are new around here, my name is Ahmed. I'm a neurology resident. I'm soon to be a board certified neurologist. On this channel, I do reviews, I talk about tech, all of this fun stuff. So if you are new around here, subscribe down below and let's get into it. I'm going to divide this video into 5 sections. I'm going to talk about the build quality and the design, the battery life. I'm going to talk about the functionality and the connectivity. And I'm going to also talk about the sound quality, including the active noise cancellation. And I'm gonna wrap up with my final thoughts about these bad boys. So starting with the build quality and the design. The second generation AirPods comes in 5 different colors: blue, midnight, starlight, orange, and purple. I personally picked up the purple one because it looks cool on camera, but really the starlight, I think it is the best. The design is unique and making it really recognizable in public. And maybe this is one of the reasons why Apple didn't go and change the design with the second generations. Overall, the build quality is solid, and I'm saying literally solid because it is made of metal. It weighs 386 grams, which is almost 400 grams, which is kind of heavy. It does give it a high-end feeling, but that means it is heavier. Other brands, they went with plastic, which is lighter and also cheaper. But to give Apple credit here, it does feel more premium. It does feel like really well built. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm a little disappointed about the fact that they are not water resistant, they are not dust resistant. I will admit, I did wear them if it is raining a little bit, if it's snowing a little bit, if I'm sweating, I did wear them, but I will probably not advise you to do the same. And also working out, going to the gym, especially if you are sweating a lot, is probably not a good idea because they are not water resistant. These headphones are essentially 2 parts. The first part here is the ear cups, and then you have the headband here. The ear cups are made of glossy aluminum from the outside, but from the inside they have these ear cushions, which are basically memory foam that are removable. These cushions attach magnetically, so they are secure but easy to remove for cleaning or replacement. They also provide some ventilation, making long listening sessions more tolerable. I think about them as like a small mattress or like a pillow, which is very comfortable. The ear cups also have this mesh fabric inside, but it doesn't really touch your ears because they are really deep. And with this mesh and fabric all around, they are really breathable, they have good ventilations. They don't really make your ears sweaty unless it is like super hot outside. On the mesh inside, you have an indicator about which ear cup is right and which ear cup is left. I personally just know by the buttons. These buttons are located on the right side, so that's why I know which one is right and which one is left. The other part of the headphone is the headband. The headband features a stainless steel frame and connect to the ear cups via very strong adjustable metal arm, which Apple call it telescoping arms. It's kind of like a telescope which goes in and out. It's very smooth and feel really strong. It also has another mesh here which make it more comfortable. I think Apple went with this approach. They wanted to reduce the weight on your head, and also the mesh is kind of lightweight, so that is like kind of reduce a little bit the weight of the headphone. I think the problem with this one is that it can get dirty. It's kind of like a mesh. The one in the ear cups is more of a saturated and strong color, so it is less likely to get dirty. But the one here at the top is kind of like almost white, and it is also on your head, so it's more likely to get dirty. Not only it's gonna get dirty, but it's gonna be stretched over time as well. So the headphones basically have 3 ways to adjust for different head sizes. First of all, you have this one here, the headband. It's not only the headband that bends, but also it bends here, and that helps with adjusting for different head sizes and kind of apply pressure on the side, which help with distributing the weight over your head. And the other one is this telescoping help with adjusting the size of the headphones, so it can accommodate like smaller head, larger head, etc. But despite of all this mechanism and them trying to distribute the weight of the headphones over your head, you still kind of like, when you put them on, you still kind of feel some pressure. I don't feel the pressure on the top of my head. I usually feel the pressure below my ears a little bit, but kind of like you get used to it over time. And comparing them to the Sony XM4s, which here are made of leather, they do get sweaty in your ears, so I feel like I have to take them off my ears regularly. I'm talking about the Sony ones. But for the AirPod Max, the mesh is really breathable. Like, I can put them on for a long time. Yes, the weight can be bothering me, but I don't feel sweaty. Obviously, I'm testing them in winter, and probably in summer my ears still gonna get sweaty from using them for a long time. But comparing them to the other ones, which are made of leather, they are relatively comfortable. One day I talked to my friend for 6 hours straight with these headphones. I was very comfortable. I wear them for a long time, no issues. The other thing I want to point out is the controls. Out of the controls, I'm actually very happy that they went with an actual physical control rather than touch control. They are actually just 2 buttons, which is very simple. There's one button that controls the noise cancellation here. The other button they have is what they call the digital crown, which is very similar to the one they have on the Apple Watch. The noise cancelling button is self-explanatory, and basically you can toggle between like turning on the active noise cancellation and also transparency mode. And the second button in the digital crown, it is a button, but at the same time, if you scroll with it, you are able to control the volume while you are listening to something. If you press once, you are able to pause the music. If you press twice, you're gonna skip forward. If you triple press, you're gonna skip backwards. And also, if you hold for a long time, you are able to activate Siri. And also, you are able to answer phone calls, reject phone calls, etc. Both buttons, I would say, are very clicky, very well built, really solid. I am happy that they actually put it on the right side, which compared to the Sony XM4s, which are on the left side. Oh, yeah, they are on the left side and at the bottom, which make it more awkward to kind of like control them. But on these ones, on the AirPod Max, it is easier to control. Making them on the top here is easier to control. For people who use their left hand as their dominant hand, I'm sorry, but most people use their right hand. And even if I want to control it with my left hand, it is not that bad. It's not ideal, but it's also not that bad. Also, the buttons, they have some feedback. It is not a haptic feedback, but kind of like a sound effect feedback. So you are able to know if you click the button or not. One more feature I learned while researching for this video is that you are able to press both buttons together. So let's say you are listening to music, you're just vibing with yourself and someone came and talked to you. Instead of taking off the headphones, you are able to click both buttons at the same time. So you are able, for example, to pause the music, and also you are able to activate transparency mode. So you are able to talk to them. It's a fun feature to have, but in real life, I just feel rude talking to someone with my headphones on. So I just usually take them off. And also, if you lift it up the headphones like this, it's also gonna pause the music. If you wanna talk to someone, you can talk to them, and then when you put them back, they start playing again, which is a cool feature. Having 2 buttons, I love it. It is simple, and the design of them are different. So I know the scroll wheel feel different. It is at the back, and the noise cancelling button is in the front, and this different shape. So it is easier for me to build muscle memory. 2 buttons, very simple, straightforward, different shape, and you are able to control the basic stuff and just keep it simple, which is a feature I really enjoy. Probably some of you are thinking, where is the power button on these headphones? Surprisingly, they don't have a power buttons. The way to turn them off is to put them in the case, this case, which most people don't like to use because the design is kind of weird. People don't like to use it. So I was a little worried about that. But when I searched online and when I used these bad boys, I learned that once you take them off, they stop the music, they pause the music, and also they enter power saving modes within 5 minutes. So they are able to save the battery. I think when they released it in 2020, there was concern that they may take 2 hours to enter the power saving mode. I don't know if they did like a software updates or something, but regardless, after you take them and put them off your head, they enter power saving mode within 5 minutes. I actually tested that myself. I left them on my desk. They were around like 68%. Went to sleep, 8 hours later, woke up in the morning, and they were at 69%. I didn't plug them to the charger or anything. So it was kind of weird to increase 1% without me charging them. But maybe it is like the change of temperature or something, I don't know. And multiple time I go to work, just put them in my backpack. They don't like really drain the battery as crazy, and it's just fine. As I mentioned, I don't really like to use the case. It only covers the ear cups. It doesn't cover the headband, and even the ear cups, it doesn't cover it fully. So here it's exposed all over here, exposed all over here. The only good thing is that like the adjustments you make, you don't have to like adjust and readjust. Maybe that's the only good things about the case. And do they have like a charging, like you are able to charge it without the need to take off the case, which is, I guess it's cool, but and it has magnet here, but it's not really satisfying like to click. Just don't use this stupid case. That's my advice. There's really no need to use it. There's probably some third-party cases you can get. You can do that. Me personally, I'm just gonna use it like this. Also, they don't fold or anything. So even if you put them in the case, it's gonna be probably like a bulky case. And that's probably one of the reasons why like Apple went with this smaller case, because I'm assuming they don't want to make it more bulky. I did drop them once from my desk, but I don't see any scratches on them, so they are fine. You can also put them around your neck, but they kind of like tight around my neck and they are uncomfortable. And also you can put them like this, but they also like, it's just uncomfortable. So I either put them on my back or I'm wearing them like listening to something. Moving on to the battery life is actually really good. Apple claims that these headphones can stay for 20 hours of listening, which I think is accurate. One day I used them maybe around like 9 hours and they were around 50%. So I think the battery life is really solid. 20 hours, you are really realistically not able to kill them in one day unless like you have a flight, you are traveling, there's a lot going on, you don't have access to charge them. But with 20 hours, you are really covered for like day-to-day use, out and about, all of these things, you are really covered. Even if you found them dead, you can charge them for only 5 minutes and they give you around 1.5 hours of use. And cherry on top, you are even able to use them while they are charging. The second generation AirPods charge with USB-C, and next to the USB-C they have a charging indicator. When it is yellowish orange color, that means it is charging. When it is more of a green, means that it is fully charged. All my stuff are USB-C, so I'm very happy to have USB-C. My iPhone is USB-C, my laptop is USB-C, my camera is USB-C, everything is USB-C. So I'm really happy to see this new generation have USB-C, which is the only new feature in the second generation, which is kind of funny. But that brings us to connectivity, which I think is very interesting. With the new AirPods Max, the second generation, you are only able to connect them via Bluetooth. I haven't tried myself to do so, but people online say if you connected the Lightning one, the first generation, via the dongle that Apple sell for $35, you get better quality, higher quality audio. But that feature does not work with the new ones. I have tried myself to connect them directly with the USB-C to USB cable, but that didn't really work. They only charge. Hopefully, maybe in the future, Apple gonna like start selling like a special USB-C that you are able to do that with it. But for now, we don't really have that option. So if it is not clear, yes, I'm gonna say it again. The only port they have is the USB-C. There is no 3.5 jack, nothing like that. If you want to connect these headphones, the only connections is the Bluetooth connections. at least for now. But don't get me wrong, the Bluetooth connection is good. And especially with Apple products, they have like very seamless process for connecting them. Once you connect them with one of your devices, one of your Apple devices, they connect to all other ones, I believe via iCloud connection. But that makes it very easy to switch between devices. They have a feature is called seamless switching, meaning that let's say I'm watching something on my laptop and I wanted to switch to my iPhone to listen to something else or answer a phone call or whatever, I don't have to manually switch. Once I start using my iPhone, it automatically switches there. The other thing is that, as I mentioned earlier, once you take them off, they do stop playing the music. But what is even more cool, let's say I'm playing something on my iPhone, playing like a YouTube video, but then I was like, oh, I want to use my headphones. I don't have to click anything. I just put the headphones on and they start playing on the AirPod Max. Like it stops on my iPhone and start playing on the AirPod Max, which is super cool. And then I take them off, they stop playing, and then I can continue with my iPhone. Put them on again, they start playing on the headphones again. Very seamless, very like integrated with the Apple ecosystem, which is good, but at the same time it's kind of scary because once you have a lot of Apple devices, it's very difficult to get outside of that ecosystem. Now I have a MacBook, I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, I have AirPods Max. So I'm feeling I'm getting locked into the Apple ecosystem, which is scary, but that means you are able to have a good experience and all your devices connect together, including the AirPods Max. Also, as a doctor, sometimes I'm on call in the middle of the night. I have to talk to someone at like 3 a.m. I don't want to be like trying to connect the headphones, figuring out. I just put them on and immediately they start working. That is very convenient for me. It's really nice for someone like me who owns an iPhone and other Apple devices as well. But for someone who owns Android, Windows, the experience might not be the best. You are still able to connect them with Bluetooth, simple Bluetooth connections, but you're probably going to be losing a lot of the smart features. All the options to customize the experience, it might not be the best options for you. With all the seamless connections, sometimes they do disconnect from my device and they have to reconnect them. I have to reset the headphones. Like I have to click both these buttons for like 5 seconds, have to disconnect them. This maybe happens once a month or so. But overall, the connectivity is like top notch. They do have some setting you can adjust. They don't have a dedicated app, but you can use the setting app to kind of adjust the settings. You go to Bluetooth and then you find the AirPods, click on them, and then you can adjust some settings. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but to mention a few, you can change the name here at the top. You can also customize the buttons to some extent. And one more feature is find my device. If you lost your headphones, although they are kind of big, like I don't know how you're gonna lose them, but if you lost your headphones, you are able to locate them using Find My Device. It is similar to AirTag if you are familiar with that. And also you can play a sound and that makes it easier for you to find them. All these fun features I mentioned since the beginning of this video are powered by a chip. It's called the H1 chip. It is not the latest one. They have the H2 chip, but for some reason they put it on the AirPods Pros, but they didn't put it in the AirPods Max, which is kind of weird, but hey, whatever. I think it is just fine. When it comes to audio quality, I'm gonna admit, I'm kind of like a general consumer, someone who listen to music casually. I think the AirPods Max is one of the best headphones I ever listened to. And it's not really an exaggeration. I'm a big fan actually of the XM4s, but when you compare them directly with the AirPods Max, they do sound better. The AirPods Max do sound better. They sound more crisp, and it is not only because of the sound quality, but also because of the noise cancellation. The noise cancellation features on the AirPods Max is really it is the best with no doubt. And the AirPods Max do have 3 modes you can choose from. They have the active noise cancellation mode, they have transparency mode, and they have an off mode, which basically like a neutral mode. There are 2 modes that I like to use. One is the active noise cancellation, and the other one is the transparency mode. The active noise cancellation mode, what it does, The microphone detects ambient noise around you and actively block it. When I say block them, it means it blocks them. It is really good. It is like dangerously good. It is the best active noise cancellation ever in any device I listen to, full stop. The other mode they have is the transparency mode, which basically the opposite. It detects the noise around you and it brings the noise in, which includes people who are talking to you, etc. So for example, if I'm walking outside, I would like to have the transparency mode on because I want to be safe. If I'm walking in Brooklyn here, it's crazy here. So I want to be able to listen everything around me, cars, people, etc. I'm not going to exaggerate and say it feels like as if you are not wearing any headphones, but it is very close. It's like 90%. I think it feels the same as if you are putting like normal headphones, you know, the wired like normal headphones, you are putting them on. You know there's something there in your ears, but it is not like really blocking the sound. If someone is talking to you, you are able to hear them, so it feels very natural. The third one I don't personally use, it's called the off mode, but it basically the microphones are not detecting anything. They are not bringing the noise in, they are not cancelling the noise, so it's just neutral. And the reason I don't use it because it is like in this middle ground. Like the headphones themselves, they have a good ceiling around your ears, so they blocking the sound, but not really. So if someone talk to you, are not able to hear them. If you are walking outside, the headphones are still blocking the sound, so it is not really safe to walk outside, at least here in Brooklyn. The reason I'm really scared because one day I remember I was having active noise cancellation on the subway, and then I got off the subway. When I walked outside, I forgot to turn it off. So I was walking, I wasn't really paying attention to the area around me, and I was crossing the sidewalk, and then there was an ambulance. I didn't even hear the siren of the ambulance, so the ambulance was about to hit me. Thankfully it didn't, but you know, seeing that time, I'm very careful with that. So just be safe and just use transparency mode when you are outside. And one feature I miss compared to the XM4s, they have some smart features. So for example, if you are walking outside, they stop the noise cancellation because they know you are walking outside and you want to hear the environment around you. But these features are not available in the AirPods Max, which hopefully something that we see in the future. I would really love to see those features. The other problem with the active noise cancellation, it does apply some pressure around my ear sometimes, but you kind of get used to it when you use it for like a couple of minutes. One of the reasons that the AirPods Max is able to offer this really excellent active noise cancellations because it has microphones all around. It has actually 9 microphones, which is kind of unusual for headphones. 3 of these microphones are used for voice pickup, so if you are talking over the phone, if you are recording something. So I'm gonna do like a quick test now to give you a comparison. I'm not gonna compare them with this Pro microphone, which is gonna be unfair, so I'm gonna be comparing them with the AirPods Max, the iPhone 16, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. What I'm saying, I'm gonna be comparing them with the iPhone 16 Pro Max and also with the wired headphones which Apple sells for $20. So I'm going to record voice memo. So I'm going to start with the iPhone 16 Pro Max, just making sure Ferris is not connected to the AirPods Max. Disconnect. Testing the microphone of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Testing the microphone of the AirPods, which are only $20. Testing the microphone of the AirPods Max second generations. Testing the microphone of the Sony XM4s. I just wanted to show you guys and make sure that you guys listen to it, because I think it's important. Some people maybe they want to do it for phone calls and stuff, so I wanted to show you guys. The other thing I want to talk about is a few features that Apple's included with the AirPods Max. There is what they call adaptive EQ, or that's what Apple calls it, but it basically, this is a feature that when you put the headphones on, it adjusts the sound in real time based on the fit and seal of the headphones. This is kind of like a gimmick and a fun feature to have. I don't think it really makes a big difference, but I just wanted to point it out there. As I mentioned, I'm really happy with the sound quality of the AirPods Max, but one feature they don't have is the lossless audio. If you are not familiar with this concept, the way I'm gonna oversimplify it, this is gonna be like an oversimplifications, so don't quote me on this, but lossless audio equals to like 4K videos. So with the AirPod Max, you are not able to listen to lossless audio or like 4K audio, but you are able to listen with it in HD. The first generation, with the lightning cable, you are able to listen with the wired connection to something close to lossless audio, but not exactly. I haven't tried it myself, but at least this is what I read online. For me, it is not a deal breaker. For 99% of people, it's not a deal breaker. But if you are someone who is like really nerdy and really nerdy about audio, this is probably something gonna be a deal breaker for you. One other feature, extra feature, and also for me it's kind of like a gimmick, Apple calls it like spatial audio. And the way I think about it is as if like a 3D audio. Let's give you an example. If you are watching a movie and there is a train coming from the right side, you're gonna start hearing it from the right side. And when it comes close to you, you're gonna hear it on both ears. And then when it passes, you're gonna hear it more on the left ear than the right ear. It's kind of like a 3D experience. This is more important with like movies. Again, as someone, general consumer like me, I don't think I care as much, but I think it is a good feature to have. And I will link a video down below if you own any headphones that will give you like a real-time experience to experience like spatial audio. There is two more concerns I would like to address before ending this video. One is the bleed. If you are sitting to someone, let's say in the subway or in the bus, are they able to listen to whatever you are listening to? Good questions, right? Let's find out. So I'm gonna play music and let me know when you are able to hear it. It's playing through the headphones. So now it is around 25%. Are you able to hear anything? 50%? 75%? 100%? You're probably able to hear the 100% because it's like really loud. My ears are hurting, which is a good thing. If you want to listen to loud music, I would not advise that, but you are able to. The second thing I wanted to address is the latency, especially for people who want to edit videos. With Bluetooth headphones, there is usually a latency between what you are hearing and what you are seeing on the screen. I think if you are like editing movies, like feature movies, etc., maybe that's gonna be an issue. It's just a YouTube video like this, I think it's gonna be fine. If you are doing more advanced stuff, you probably maybe you need to invest in more professional headphone sets. So this is the end of the video, and as I promised, and you kind of see where this is going. These headphones are $550. I have praised them a lot. I said a lot of good things about them. I do think they are excellent headphones. Are they worth $550? Probably not. A reasonable price for them is probably $350, $400. But given the fact that you are not able to compare them to anything else, like yes, something like the XM4s are really good, but at the end they are not the AirPod Max. If you want the AirPod Max experience, if you want the seamless connection with all your Apple devices, the solid build quality, the good battery life, all of this fun stuff, they are the only one in the market that offer this like combination of features. I do like them, but it is difficult for me to justify spending another $550 on headphones while I have kind of a good headphones, which I reviewed before. If you are curious, you can click the review. I will link it up here. I got these ones for like $220 during the last year holiday season. So it's kind of a steal compared to these ones, which I got them for $500, which is kind of insane. If you enjoyed this review, subscribe down below. We are almost very close to 100 subscribers. And also let me know down below what you guys think about the new AirPod Max. Are you gonna be getting them or maybe waiting for the AirPod Max 3? and if you are getting them, which color you're gonna be choosing. Let me know down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.